I'm Stephen Brown with LedgerGurus. We are the accounting department for your business, empowering you to build with better numbers. In this video, I'm going to talk about Veem Capital, which acts as a business credit line for bills and invoices. Now, if you haven't watched my video on Veem Payments, you're going to want to do that before you watch this video. But essentially, Veem Payments allows you to pay wire transfers and ACH payments from a web browser. Veem Capital layers on top of that and allows you to apply credit to those payments. So with Veem Capital, it starts with an application. You can get an automatic $50,000 of credit without a whole lot of complication, and you can get up to $500,000 or more through a more rigorous process. As part of the application process, there's no hard inquiry on your credit, so you're not going to have an impact on your credit score. Also, Veem Capital does not require a personal guarantee, so it's truly part of your business and not part of your personal life. The algorithm that Veem uses is fairly complex. They're going to look at your personal credit history. They're going to look at your business credit history. They're going to look at your history of payments on Veem. So start using Veem to pay your bills so you can build up a history, and a number of other elements to determine how much credit you're going to be able to get and what rate you'll get with your credit. For more complex or larger lines of credit, you might have to provide financials and some other information to prove credit worthiness for that line. Now, if you get declined, you can reapply in a few months, or you can go back to Veem and ask for a more rigorous review of your information to get a line of credit. And your credit line can increase typically after about 6 months with some good usage. It could go earlier if you have good history of using your credit line and paying it off on time. Now, how it works is when you go to pay a bill in Veem, whether a wire transfer or an ACH, you can tap into that credit line and stretch out the payments over a 2 to 6 month period and either pay monthly or weekly. Now, this is really great. We love this in particular for our e-commerce customers. When you're going to buy inventory, right, there's that time between purchasing inventory and gets on the boat, it comes across, it goes through customs, and finally makes it into your warehouse, and finally you're able to start selling it. And so there's that huge cash gap that you get with purchasing of inventory, and this is a great tool to stretch out your cash while you're going through that cycle. Now, the costs are, there are no maintenance or sign-up fees, so you're not going to have to pay money for a line of credit you're not using. When you go to use it, it's a 1 to 3% of the payment monthly while you're paying that down. And the term that you get will depend upon how your application goes. So if you have really good credit and credit history, you'll get a lower rate than you would if you don't. Now, there's another side of Veem Capital. Veem also allows you to receive payments. So you can invoice through Veem and request that your customer signs up with Veem Capital and essentially factor your invoice. So if you're not familiar with factoring, factoring is essentially where you're selling your invoice. Now, you're not exactly selling your invoice to Veem in this case. They're essentially financing it, and you get the money immediately. They will take over payment and terms with your customer. Now, that customer could choose to pay immediately, and you could still get the terms faster. Or you get a lot of companies that do like net 30, net 60, and you can get paid faster by going through the Veem Capital mechanism. We see this in particular with a lot of wholesalers. So if you're working with big retail, they're very slow on their payment terms, and you can speed up your payment terms with those vendors. Now, the costs of the receivables part of Veem Capital is 2% of the invoice. So again, if you're finding that you have good customers who have really crummy payment terms and you're not able to negotiate them down, maybe you can say, hey, will you at least go sign up with Veem Capital so that I can get paid faster? And they can stretch out their terms and you get paid quickly. So we really like what Veem has done, not only with their payment solution, but this addition of Veem Capital. It's a cash flow tool that you can use to stretch out your cash and make your business more flexible with operations. If you like this video, like it, ask me a question or send a comment in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel where you'll see more videos like these. And if you want to learn more about Veem or Veem Capital, reach out to LedgerGurus and we would be happy to help you.